In the bustling suburbs of San Diego, where palm trees swayed against the endless blue sky, lived a single dad named Jake Harlan. At 38, he was the kind of man who fixed things for a living. Engines, leaky faucets, broken dreams. His small auto shop sat tucked between a strip mall and a gas station. Its sign faded from too many scorching summers. Jake worked long hours to keep the lights on for his 8-year-old son, Tommy, who had lost his mum to cancer 3 years earlier. Life wasn't easy, but Jake never complained. He just kept turning wrenches and smiling for his boy. Across town, in a sprawling glass mansion overlooking the Pacific, lived Victoria Langford, a billionaire tech CEO whose empire spanned artificial intelligence and medical robotics. She had everything money could buy: private jets, award-winning doctors on speed dial, and a fortune that could fund small countries. But none of it mattered when her 14-year-old daughter Lily lay in a hospital bed after a devastating car accident 6 months prior. A drunk driver had crossed the median on the 5 freeway. Lily's spine had taken the brunt of the impact. The best neurosurgeons in the country, the ones Victoria flew in on chartered flights, delivered the same verdict: permanent paralysis from the waist down. No surgery, no experimental stem cell treatment. No billion-dollar exoskeleton could guarantee she'd walk again. They called it medically improbable. Victoria called it unacceptable. Lily had been a dancer before the accident. Graceful, full of life, always moving. Now she stared at the ceiling of her private suite in the rehabilitation wing, her legs heavy and useless beneath crisp white sheets. Physical therapy sessions ended in frustration and tears. The high-tech braces and robotic walkers Victoria bought felt like mocking cages. "I hate this," Lily whispered one evening as her mother adjusted a strap that dug into her skin. Victoria forced a smile, but inside she was crumbling. She'd built empires, but she couldn't build a miracle for her own child. One rainy Thursday, Victoria's luxury SUV broke down on the way to yet another specialist appointment. The engine sputtered and died on a quiet back road near Jake's garage. Frustrated, she called her driver, but he was stuck in traffic miles away. Spotting the flickering neon sign of Harlan Auto Repair, she pulled in, pushing Lily's wheelchair through the puddles. Jake wiped grease from his hands and approached. He didn't recognize the woman in the designer coat or the sleek chair with the gold trim. All he saw was a tired mom and a teenage girl who looked like the world had already told her to give up. "What seems to be the problem?" he asked, voice calm. Victoria explained the car issue curtly. While Jake popped the hood and started diagnosing, Lily watched him work. Something about the way he moved, patient, precise, caught her eye. When he needed a tool from the far bench, he asked Lily if she could hand it to him. She hesitated, then reached. For the first time in months, she didn't feel completely helpless. As Jake worked, Victoria paced, phone in hand, fielding calls from doctors. She vented quietly about the latest failed trial, the words, "never walk again," echoing in her head. Jake overheard but said nothing at first. When the car was fixed 30 minutes later, he refused her generous tip. "No need, just glad I could help." Victoria paused. "You fix cars. Ever fix people?" Jake glanced at Lily. "I used to be a physical therapist before Tommy was born. Lost my license when the shop took over my life. But I still know bodies better than most machines do." Victoria's eyes narrowed. "My daughter can't walk. 23 specialists say it's impossible." Jake crouched beside Lily's chair. "Mind if I ask what hurts most?" Lily looked surprised. No doctor had ever asked her opinion like that. "My hips," she said softly. "The braces pinch, and it feels like my legs are locked." "They don't. Listen to me." Jake nodded thoughtfully. He gently palpated her hips through the chair. No invasive touch, just enough to feel the alignment. "The accident compressed your sacroiliac joints. The docs focused on the spine, but sometimes the secondary issues get overlooked. The braces are forcing your pelvis into a position that's making everything worse." Victoria stared. "You're saying the billion-dollar equipment is hurting her?" "Not hurting on purpose," Jake replied. "Just not built for her specific body. Everyone's different. Machines don't care about that. Hands do." He sketched a quick adjustment on a napkin. Minor modifications to the brace hinges. a different angle for the pelvic support, and a simple daily stretch routine using household items. Try this for 2 weeks. If it doesn't help, you don't owe me anything. Victoria almost laughed at the audacity. Her grease-stained mechanic prescribing fixes that eluded Harvard-trained surgeons. But Lily's eyes lit up for the first time in months. Please, Mom, let him try. Against every instinct, Victoria agreed. She had nothing left to lose. The next day, Jake showed up at the mansion after closing the shop. Tommy came along, wide-eyed at the giant house. While Victoria hovered nervously, Jake worked patiently with Lily in the therapy room. He adjusted the braces with tools from his bag, taught her how to engage her core differently, and used resistance bands he bought from a dollar store. He talked to her like a person, not a patient, about school, music, even bad hospital food. Week 1, Lily felt looser. Week 2, she managed a few seconds standing with support. By week 3, she took a shaky step between parallel bars while Jake held her hands. Victoria watched from the doorway, phone forgotten, tears streaming down her face. The breakthrough came on a quiet Saturday morning. Lily stood in the middle of the room, no bars, no braces, just Jake's steady grip. "You got this," he whispered. She took one,